Today on Good Morning Maine, a special weather alert went out across the state on Sunday, warning of dry conditions and high fire danger, putting rangers on alert. Plus, police in Old Town are cracking down on what they say is an increase in vandalism cases. And it was a scene of face paint and fairy wings over the weekend in Holden, all for a good cause. We'll check out the Field Ponds Butterfly Festival. Good morning, I'm Emma Smith, and welcome to Good Morning Maine. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Looks like there were a lot of wildfires over the weekend. It's still been pretty dry. We could definitely use some rain, and I have no clue what the forecast is yet. I haven't checked in with Devin. So let's get a look at that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Already, we have an advisory posted this morning. This right here is a small craft advisory that is posted until 5 o'clock p.m. as we head towards your Tuesday for the areas highlighted along the coast. Meanwhile, as we move forward this morning, we do have some activity not only off the coast, but also inland with some showers and even some thunderstorms that are developing. Not only are we watching some of that activity off the coast, but we're also watching a cold front that is tracking through, and we also have a tropical storm that is also developing out toward the ocean. We'll talk about this system and your full weather forecast coming up. But meanwhile, inland for us today, we are watching some showers and even some thunderstorms today. We'll watch this clear out coming up later on tonight. Areas of dense fog will also be a possibility coming up overnight. So we'll have that chance for thunderstorms with temperatures in the low 70s and a south wind coming up to around 20 miles per hour. Hourly forecast, chances for showers and thunderstorms, temperatures in the lower 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Possibly some rain today. All right, thank you, Devin. We'll get another look at that forecast a little later on. All right, first up this morning, over the weekend, the Maine Forest Service responded to several wildfires. And with the continued windy conditions and elevated fire danger throughout much of the state, rangers are on high alert. The National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement for elevated fire weather danger in parts of the state due to dry air mass and breezy conditions. The daily wildfire danger was once again ranging from moderate to very high across the state yesterday. According to the Maine Forest Service, the online open burning permit system was shut off for almost all of Maine on Sunday. The Maine Forest Service says they have increased staffing of engines and other wildfire suppression equipment. They encourage people to be extremely cautious with all outdoor fires and to consult with your local fire department before conducting any open burning. This also definitely includes disposing of smoking materials, no matter where you are. In other news, multiple people have been displaced following a fire at a 2-unit apartment building in Bucksport on Sunday. According to the Bucksport Fire Department, crews responded to a residential fire in town along Route 1 shortly before 11 a.m. Upon arrival, they found smoke coming from the kitchen. Bucksport Fire Captain Joe Wardwell says one person was home at the time, but no one was injured.
We made entry and quickly knocked down the fire, which ended up being in a bathroom. Fire Marshal's office has been notified. They are responding to the scene to determine what the fire was actually caused by.
According to Captain Wardwell, the fire caused significant damage to the first-floor apartment. However, he says the second-floor apartment was not a total loss. He says at least 5 people have been displaced, though, and are being assisted by the Red Cross. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A motor vehicle crash in Bucksport shut down Route 46 on Saturday morning. In a social media post by the Orland Fire Department, they and the Bucksport first responders responded to a car crash and a fire at approximately 7:15 on Saturday morning. They say the crash downed poles and lines, resulting in Route 46 being shut down. According to the Bucksport Police Department, the driver, who was also the only one in the vehicle, was transported to a local hospital with minor injuries. A fire in Bradford drew multiple crews on Saturday afternoon. According to the Bradford Fire Department, crews responded to a fire at a home on Cook Road around 3:30. Upon arrival, they found a fully involved trailer. While attempting to knock down the fire, they say it spread to the woods around the home. According to Bradford's fire chief, it was challenging to stop the blaze due to the distance between the pavement and the water. He says no one was injured. One neighbor says it was a scary situation as they feared the blaze could spread to nearby homes.
Well, at first I thought it was a forest fire. That kind of scared me, you know, with the wind and everything, but house fires just bad.
The fire chief says the residence was a total loss and 2 people have been displaced. He says the damage was too significant to determine the cause and there will be no further investigation. Excuse me. Authorities confirmed 1 person is dead following a motorcycle crash in Dexter on Saturday night. According to the Dexter Police Department, a 63-year-old female motorcyclist was traveling northbound on Route 7 shortly before 8 p.m. when she struck a deer while it was crossing the road. Authorities say she sustained life-threatening injuries and was transported by Life Flight to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor in critical condition. However, police say she did not survive her injuries. The victim's identity is not being released at this time. In other news this morning, a missing person report led to authorities finding said person involved in a car crash off of Route 15. According to the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Office, in the early morning hours on Saturday, they received a report of a missing person who was last seen leaving Greenville Junction. It happened the night before, or they left rather, and headed north on Route 15. At approximately 2:45 a.m., the Sheriff's Office says Deputy Kyle Wilson discovered the missing person's vehicle off of the side of the road with the driver still inside. The driver was then taken out of the vehicle and taken to a local hospital. Authorities say speed was a contributing factor in the crash. The Sheriff's Office says Deputy Wilson's persistence in looking for the vehicle likely saved the driver's life, as they had been trapped in the vehicle for approximately 6 hours. Maine State Police have issued a silver alert for a missing Skowhegan man. 71-year-old Michael Michaud of Skowhegan, who authorities say suffers from cognitive issues, left his home on Russell Road on foot. They say he's a white male, 6 feet tall, with 180 pounds, with gray hair and blue eyes, and was last seen walking on Russell Road wearing a long-sleeve shirt, blue jeans, and LL Bean boots. Those with information are asked to contact the state police at 624-7076. That's 624-7076. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office has launched an investigation into the disappearance of a Plymouth woman. The Sheriff's Office says 70-year-old Pauline Berardi was last seen on Friday the 15th, leaving her home in a black sedan. They say Berardi does not drive. The operator of the vehicle is unknown, and authorities believe she may be somewhere between Newport and the Detroit area. The Sheriff's Office is asking those with information about her location or who may have provided her a ride to contact them at 947-4585 or contact them through the Sheriff's Office mobile app Tip Line. It's a QR code that can be found within this story on our website, foxbangor.com. Public Works officials are warning drivers to be ready for a detour in Ellsworth starting today. Crews first noticed water accumulating on Bayside Road on Wednesday afternoon. They confirmed a water main had broken in several places because of aging infrastructure. Ellsworth Public Works Director Mike Harris says repairs will begin this morning around 6 o'clock.
If you travel the Water Street corridor or the Bayside corridor, if you're going towards the island, you're either going to want to take High Street, or if you come up Water Street, you're going to have to go up Washington Street to High Street. And coming from the island, only local traffic or truck traffic will be able to come past the Beachland Road on Bayside Road.
He says those sections of road could be closed for several days until the repairs are complete. All right, the time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Mount Desert Island is getting more affordable housing. And when we return, we'll see just how the new development will be impacting the local community. But before we go, let's take another look at that forecast. Mostly cloudy today. We are likely to see some thunderstorms, possibly some rain as well. We could definitely use it. Excuse me. High of 72 degrees for your Monday, dropping down to a low of 58 overnight. Probably some thunderstorms overnight. Some fog will move in as well. Tomorrow looks a lot nicer though, partly cloudy. High of 77 for your Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Bruce Willis, that smile, that laugh, but now gripped by a heartbreaking disease. The loving and powerful event special, Emma and Bruce Willis, The Unexpected Journey, Tuesday night on ABC.
Summer is here and it's heating up. You could be cooling down with a Fujitsu heat pump from Valley Home Services. Don't let the name fool you. Heat pumps aren't just for winter. They keep your home cool and comfortable even on the hottest days. No more straining your back with heavy window units. Just reliable, energy-efficient cooling at the push of a button. So why wait? Embrace the comfort with Fujitsu heat pumps and Valley Home Services. Call or visit us online today.
Let Hellman's Bakery put a smile on your face with their tasty offerings of breads, baked beans, lasagna, touche and turkey pies, fruit and cream pies, wedding and specialty cakes, pastries, and more. Hillman's, your hometown bakery, Fairfield.
Hi, Eastern Maine. Watch Person, Place, or Thing right here on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 10 a.m.
A small gift shop on Vinyl Haven is attracting craft enthusiasts of all kinds, thanks in part to the shop's owner and his love of pirates.
We wanted him to have a place that had meaningful employment.
We'll take you to Zach's Shack, tonight on ABC 7, News at 6.
President Trump is vowing to expand his military takeover beyond Washington, D.C. and into other American cities. Trump says he's considering deploying the National Guard to Chicago, New York, and Baltimore next, as he receives pushback for falsely claiming crime has spiraled out of control in various Democratic-led cities. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
Nearly 2 weeks into the Trump administration's federal takeover of Washington, D.C., the president is shifting focus to other cities as he looks to expand the National Guard for a supposed crime-fighting mission.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
A U.S. official tells ABC News that planning is underway to send the National Guard to Chicago, but no official deployment has been ordered, and the Department of Defense declines to comment. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is pushing back against the president's claims about crime, writing, quote, "There is no emergency that warrants the President of the United States federalizing the Illinois National Guard. Donald Trump is attempting to manufacture a crisis." Former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel on CNN.
And my guess is when you look at what he did in D.C., he's not going to actually deal with crime. This is an attempt to get the goods through customs. This is an attempt to deal with cities that are welcoming cities, known as sanctuary cities, and deal with immigration.
New York's Governor Kathy Hochul also disputes Trump's claims, telling ABC News crime is down across New York City and statewide, and that the calls to use military power undermines the work being done. And in Maryland, Governor Wes Moore is responding to Trump's calls for leadership to, quote, clean up Baltimore. The governor there is touting the city's falling violent crime numbers, calling Trump hypocritical.
If you look at the president's budget, it actually cuts funding towards violent intervention groups. It cuts funding towards the bureaus of the FBI and the ATF that are supporting local jurisdictions like Baltimore.
Moore also adding,
it's unconstitutional. It's a direct violation of the 10th Amendment.
Despite the threats for military intervention, the White House does not have the same kind of authority over cities beyond Washington, D.C. When a governor calls up the National Guard at the request of the president, they can effectively police like law enforcement. When the president calls troops up without the governor's permission, the Guard's authority is limited to protecting federal buildings and personnel. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Police in Old Town are cracking down on what they say is a rise in vandalism cases. Our Callie Warren has the story.
You know, we like to have everybody down there and have access to the facilities and not have them closed down all the time.
Old Town police say the issue of vandalism in the downtown area, specifically at public parks, is getting worse. And to combat that, they're keeping a watchful eye on their new security cameras.
We do have cameras throughout the park itself, in the gazebo, and some of the other ones just around the area.
Security cameras have been put up around areas vandalism has occurred, including the Old Town Park. Officers say they've had to target more than typical graffiti. A lot of damage has occurred in public bathrooms.
Juveniles especially ripping toilet paper dispensers off the walls, clogging drains with paper towels, causes some damage.
The PD arrested and charged one juvenile earlier in the month in connection with vandalism in those bathrooms. Officer Hinman says his hope is that increased security cameras will not only help them catch vandals, but also deter children from committing the crime.
We like to have a good relationship. We like to build relationships with juveniles so that they see us as somebody that they can talk to and not somebody that they need to run away from.
In Old Town, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
More affordable housing is coming to the Mount Desert Island area. Our Alex Schley was there and tells us how the development is impacting the community.
Friday, Mount Desert Island's Housing Trust broke ground on the third and final phase of the Ripple Hill project, which began in the early 2000s with the goal of bringing more middle-class housing to the island.
Island Housing Trust came out of a community visioning process called MDI Tomorrow. We asked the community, what do you love about your community? What are you worried about? And what do you want to see in the future? Housing that's affordable for median income came up right away.
The development, located off Beach Hill Road, has been built in 3 phases.
We have 2 phases of the neighborhood that were built from 2008 to 2017. We're now finishing the neighborhood with phase 3.
The final phase will feature 9 new homes.
They're a New England house, 2-story, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. They're on a clustered lot, so they'll have landscaping, little gardens.
Although the ceremonial groundbreaking was held Friday, ground clearing is already well underway. O'Byrne says they hope to have families in the homes by next fall.
We should have all of them in place by summer, and then they have to be finished and hooked up to the services.
Residents who benefited from the earlier phases say the program has made a huge difference.
I was living outside of Maine at the time, but I wanted to come back to Maine because Maine had been my home in the past. And I was looking for homes, and really the only thing I could afford was with Island Housing Trust.
The program is still accepting applicants. For details on how to apply, visit our website, foxbangor.com. In Mount Desert Island, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 6:18. After the break, the town of Blue Hill is full of history and culture. And when we return, we'll dive into how this town preserves the past while educating the future. Plus, we'll have the latest on the Israeli offensive in Gaza. Coming up on Good Morning Maine.
For years, thousands of Mainers were denied their full Social Security benefits, even though they earned them. They were firefighters, police, and teachers. Senator Susan Collins took up their fight, never gave up, and she won. Collins wrote the bipartisan bill to restore full Social Security benefits to public servants. Maine's police and firefighters praised Senator Collins' leadership and dedication. Teachers called it an historic win. Call, thank Senator Collins, and tell her to keep fighting and winning for Maine.
Taylor Events and Equipment Rental in Bangor for all your wedding and events. Tents, tables, chairs, and more. Also see us for your home project equipment rentals. Taylor Events and Equipment Rental, 1179 Hammond Street in Bangor.
The Summer Sizzler sale is heating up at the Furniture Gallery. Camping cottage mattresses from only $148. Sleeper sofas starting at just $625. Get cozy with a reclining sofa, just $638. Love seat $598 or recliner only $398. Bundle all 3 for just $1598. Plus, take up to $300 off Flex Steel reclining pieces and save 15% on Ashley outdoor furniture. Only during the Furniture Gallery Summer Sizzler sale. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, and North Windham.
All across America.
Good morning.
Good morning. Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
Incorporated in 1789, the history found in Blue Hill knows no bounds. Recently, our Doug Banks spoke with members of the town's historical society who shared the importance of preserving the past.
When you hold a document in your hand that is signed with a flourish, then the history becomes real.
History is strewn across Blue Hill, a coastal Maine town once filled with farmers, quarry workers, fishermen, and shipbuilders.
It's a haven for genealogists.
One of its historic cornerstones, the Historical Society's very own building, the Holt House, built by third-generation Blue Hill resident Jeremiah Thorndike Holt in 1815.
So little has changed that you cannot distinguish yourself from today and 1815.
According to the Historical Society, most of the two-story federal-style Holt House is in its original condition.
All we have to do is keep it glued together.
One of their many missions, preserving the past. According to Durgan, Maine's historical societies are holding roughly 70 to 80% of the state's historic documents.
The state archives has a lot, but there's a lot that they don't have.
It brings attention to keeping the lights at historical societies on.
They are staffed by volunteers, all of whom are getting older, and who knows what's going to happen to all of that history when those people pass away. And in some cases, they already have. Either the town steps up and takes over, or they just get lost.
As the days between the past and the present grows greater, what becomes greater as well is the importance of history and the study of it.
As a high school teacher, what I like to stress to my kids is that you can learn a lot from the past, and so you can't lose that. You know, there's a lot of lessons that if we're just like, well, that doesn't matter, we're just going to put that in a box and forget about it, then there's really no point moving forward because you might be trying something that's already been tried before.
In Blue Hill, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Did Doug say this particular historical society holds 70 to 80% of the state's historical documents? I just had to make a note of that. That's crazy. That's a lot. Looks like we'll all have to make a trip to the Blue Hill Historical Society if that's an interest of ours. I definitely will. Okay, the time now is 6:22, and it's time to get a look at that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, New England's largest selection, meets unbeatable prices. Already, we have a small craft advisory up along the coast, and that will expire at around 5 o'clock p.m. as we head towards your Tuesday for the highlighted areas. Wave heights, all right, not terrible at the moment at around 4 feet. According toward the buoys, a little bit higher as you head farther down toward the south, as we do have a tropical storm that is tracking from the south and is going toward the north pretty lopsided with the convection further down toward the south and the eye, which is just farther up toward the north, the center of it. There it is right about in there. And it's been given the name for Nand, a pretty interesting system there with winds up to around 50 miles per hour and gusts up to around 65 miles per hour, moving towards the north-northeast at around 12 miles per hour. And it won't be much of a threat for us, although it may stir up the ocean, hence why the small craft advisories are in effect at this point. So it may stir up the ocean just a little bit, and once it moves out towards sea later on this week, there won't be much of an issue from there. But meanwhile, for us, we are watching some activity this morning with showers and even some thunderstorms. A couple systems we're watching, some showers and storms out towards sea, and a cold front that will be moving in soon. So that is why we are seeing some showers and thunderstorms developing this morning. Here's one wave right about in here and another one just off toward the north and west. So we'll be active today, calming down coming up later on tonight. So there's all the activity we're watching out for today. Things calm down later on tonight. Areas of dense fog overnight, but once once we head towards your Tuesday, things start to clear out and calm down. Some clouds by Tuesday afternoon. All right, for today, mostly cloudy, a chance for showers and storms. Highs in the low 70s. South wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Thunderstorms early tonight. Some clouds and fog overnight as well. Lows in the upper 50s and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 70s, a partly cloudy sky. West wind at around 25 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Partly cloudy for your Wednesday with highs in the mid 70s. Upper 70s for your Thursday under a partly cloudy sky. Some rain showers for your Friday with highs in the mid 70s.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
WVII, ABC7 cares about the children in our area. We offer a variety of programming for children ages 7 to 14. WVII, ABC7 keeps a file about these programs in our public inspection file. You may view these files during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The public inspection file is located at our studios at 371 Target Industrial Circle, Bangor, Maine 04401.
If you haven't walked through the showroom at Davis Brothers Furniture in a while, we invite you to come take a look. At Davis Brothers, we've always strived to stand out from the rest. For decades now, the goal has been the same. Give people a reason to travel from all over the state and beyond to Davis Brothers Furniture in Guilford. Everything in our showroom is designed with you in mind, from a rustic lodge and barn look to traditional and even contemporary furniture. It's more than just a unique look, it's a lifestyle. Davis Brothers Furniture, deliberately different.
Looking for the perfect gift? Come explore the Purple Baboon. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, jewelry, inspiring local books, one-of-a-kind treasures and souvenirs, they have something for everyone. The Purple Baboon, the best selection at great prices. 31 Front Street, Belfast.
Benquist Rental in Dover Foxcroft is proudly celebrating 25 years. We rent tools, equipment, lawn and garden, masonry, tents, party supplies, bounce houses, towable boom lifts, and newly arrived this season, a 50-foot drivable lift. Visit us on West Main Street or call today. The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Overseas to Gaza. Israeli forces pressing forward with their military option in Gaza City just 24 hours after the world's leading authority on hunger declared that famine is now gripping the city. Here's ABC's Lama Hassan.
Israel's new massive military offensive on Gaza City today intensifying. The Israeli Defense Forces launching several deadly airstrikes. The Hamas-run health ministry saying at least 61 people were killed in separate attacks over the last 24 hours alone, including these two children. Their mother tries to let go. There is no threat here to the Israeli military, this man says. Everyone here is a civilian. You can see there are women and children. 308 others injured, some still trapped under the rubble. Rescue crews are unable to reach them. On the ground, the Israeli government is planning to occupy the Gaza Strip. Crucial, they say, to defeat Hamas. With orders for more than 1 million people to evacuate Gaza City and head south. Some already relocating dozens of times to find shelter. Others telling aid agencies they are simply too weak to walk. The punishing restrictions on food is taking its toll. People desperate travel for hours to find food. Often dangerous, all they can find is a sack of flour. On Friday, for the first time ever, a UN-backed group saying a famine is now gripping Gaza City. The Hamas-run health ministry says at least 8 people, including 2 children, have died because of starvation in the last 24 hours alone. One aid worker saying that it is the children who are paying the highest price of this conflict. Lama Hassan, ABC News, London.
Tens of thousands of pro-Palestinian demonstrators took to the streets across Australia on Sunday. demanding that the Australian government take action against Israel's destruction of Gaza. The national rallies were organized by the Palestinian Action Group. Tens of thousands of people flocked to the rallies across most of the state capitals of Australia, calling for a ceasefire and more humanitarian aid for the territory. Organizers told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation that it was the 97th consecutive week of protests and that they were continuing to call on the federal government to sanction Israel. The family of one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims is blasting the Justice Department after it released recordings from a meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. In the tapes, the convicted sex trafficker can be heard downplaying her role with Epstein and clearing some of his most powerful friends of wrongdoing.
This morning, new outrage over a meeting between the Justice Department and Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell.
There's no list. There's never been a list.
And you never heard Mr. Epstein talk about such a list?
Never.
The family of Virginia Giuffre, one of Maxwell's victims, now slamming the DOJ, saying it gave Maxwell a, quote, platform to rewrite history, adding, the content of these transcripts is in direct contradiction with felon Ghislaine Maxwell's conviction for child sex trafficking. The fierce criticism coming after the DOJ released recordings of Maxwell's meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the country's second highest-ranking law enforcement official and President Trump's former personal attorney.
I did introduce him to women. I did, but not underage women.
Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking minors, also claimed that none of Epstein's powerful friends was involved in anything illegal, including Presidents Trump and Clinton.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
You're not aware of President Clinton ever going to the island?
He never, absolutely never went.
Just days after her interview with Blanche, Maxwell was moved to a minimum security prison in Texas. Giuffre's family calling the move a, quote, travesty of justice, while an attorney for dozens of alleged victims stresses that Maxwell has a history of lying and was already charged with perjury. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
American businesses are expected to slow down their hiring in the second half of this year with optimism on the economy on the wane. A Wall Street Journal report says the number of companies cutting back on their job hiring is almost double compared to last year. The Conference Board, a business research organization, says 1 in 5 companies will slow their hiring heading into the end of the year. The report notes hiring managers feels more uncertain about America's economic policy. The report says healthcare companies like hospitals and doctors' offices, tech, payroll, and advertising are also rethinking their hiring and relying more on existing team development instead of bringing on new hires. Federal research says it now takes the average worker 24 weeks to find a new job, about 1 month more than it would a year ago. And the unemployment rate is quite high right now as well. Coming up on the second half of the newscast, the Audubon Butterfly Festival returned over the weekend. We'll check out how festival goers got familiar with their local pollinators. Coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Foggy's Pub, your place for fun, food, and friends in Palmyra, Maine.
Americans elected Republicans on the promise of lower costs and more choices. President Trump is already making America more affordable. Now, Congress has to do its part by extending the tax credits working families use to afford their health care. If they don't, premiums will double, families will lose coverage, and Republicans will lose in 2026. Senator Collins, keep your promise. Protect our health care, our GOP majorities, and our premium tax credits.
This place wasn't our first choice.
Yeah, we made offers on like 3 or 4 other places. But all of that changed when we got pre-approved with the County Federal Credit Union. We applied entirely online.
It was so easy.
From application to moving day, count on the county to get you home faster.
So yeah, this home might not have been our first choice.
But the county was our best choice.
The County Federal Credit Union Online Mortgage. Local to the last step. CountyFCU.org.
Hi, I'm Tony with TC Hafford Basement Systems. All things basementy. Is your foundation shifting, settling, or cracking? Don't wait till it's too late. We offer the most reliable solutions to lift and stabilize your sinking foundation. With our advanced piering techniques, we'll ensure your home is back on solid ground. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Monday, August 25th, 2025, and today is National Second-Hand Wardrobe Day. This holiday is a celebration of shopping at thrift stores and all the benefits that come with it. On that note, I got this sweater at a thrift store. It's Brooks Brothers. If you know anything about that, you know that, oh, that's fantastic. It's an expensive brand, and I got it for like, what, probably $5. That's always a win. But so there's all sorts of benefits that come with thrift shopping, not just saving money. There's a lot of other ones as well. During the production of new clothing, harmful dyes and toxic substances are used, emitting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. And a lot of those clothes actually end up in landfills if they aren't purchased. Big brands will say, hey, we don't want people wearing this certain style, and they'll just throw them away instead of giving them away. If you want to learn more about that, Google it. Not to mention, though, polyester and other synthetic fibers are derived from fossil fuels, which make up a large percentage of our clothing. Today's holiday encourages us to get our next wardrobe from a thrift store to cut down on waste that pollutes our ecosystems. They call it fast fashion, clothing that's probably going to break after a few wears, probably going to look like crap after it comes out of the washing machine one time. So, you know, get something at the thrift store that is tried and true instead. I have had pretty good luck with that myself, and I save a lot of money that way too. Okay, now let's look at what happened on this day in history. On this day, in 1835, the New York newspaper The Sun began running a series of news accounts that falsely claimed British astronomer John Herschel had observed all sorts of life on the moon, including winged human creatures about 4 feet tall, which became known as the Great Moon Hoax. However, the paper never retracted the fake stories. You know, fake news has been around for a long time, and there's always people who are going to lie to you. That's my opinion on that. There's always people who are going to lie because it's so fun to make up stories about crazy winged creatures on the moon. See, look at that photo. It's so fun to imagine. Also awful for the public. Okay, in 1916, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson signed the Organic Act, which established the National Park Service. In 1920, Ethelda Bliberty, or excuse me, I'm saying her name wrong. I'm sorry, Ethelda. I think I'm saying the first name right, but let me try again on this last name. Bliberty. Okay, either way, Ethelda led an American medal sweep at the Antwerp Olympics during the women's 100-meter freestyle swim, with a record, and she became the first U.S. female Olympic champion. In 1932, aviator Amelia Earhart completed a transcontinental nonstop flight, the first by a woman, landing in Newark, New Jersey. And in 1944, German commanders surrendered Paris to the Free French forces, disobeying Hitler's orders to destroy the city. The president of France made a historic speech there, and the city was subsequently liberated, the French celebrating with a massive parade. And for birthdays, today we celebrate director Tim Burton. He is 67 years old today. Actress Blake Lively is 38, and musician Elvis Costello is 71. Tim Burton and Elvis Costello kind of look very similar in these photos. Maybe it's just the sunglasses. Okay, let's get a look at that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Already, we have an advisory posted this morning. This right here is a small craft advisory that is posted until 5 o'clock p.m. as we head towards your Tuesday for the areas highlighted along the coast. Meanwhile, as we move forward this morning, we do have some activity not only off the coast, but also inland with some showers and even some thunderstorms that are developing. Not only are we watching some of that activity off the coast, but we're also watching a cold front that is tracking through. And we also have a tropical storm that is also developing out toward the ocean. We'll talk about this system and your full weather forecast coming up. But meanwhile, inland for us today, we are watching some showers and even some thunderstorms today. We'll watch this clear out coming up later on tonight. Areas of dense fog will also be a possibility coming up overnight. So we'll have that chance for thunderstorms with temperatures in the low 70s and a south wind coming up to around 20 miles per hour. Hourly forecast, chances for showers and thunderstorms, temperatures in the lower 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Well, a beloved butterfly festival drew dozens of families to Holden on Saturday. It's an event the Fields Pond Audubon Center has hosted for several years to let families get familiar with their local pollinators. While there's an emphasis on fun with a butterfly parade, face painting, and more, the event also features education. Organizers say Maine's monarch butterfly population has ticked down over the years, and they hope to teach the next generation to take care of the environment and the ecosystem.
One of the things that we need to really appreciate is that we share this planet with our wildlife community, and that's so important that we do that in a great way and add that stewardship to our youth and to everyone in our community.
The Fields Pond Audubon Society hosts other events throughout the year, and next weekend we'll have some pollinator-friendly plants for sale. They call it their native plant sale, and it's a great place to get stuff for your garden. Really a lot of fun there. All right, right after the break, Doug Banks will have our sports updates. We'll be right back.
Winniport Sheds now offers home kits ranging in size up to 2,300 square feet. Our homes are built with 2x6 studs and can be fully customized with options for siding, windows, doors, and floor plans. Best of all, they are energy efficient and affordable. Our home kits typically cost 30 to 50% less than conventional construction homes. Only at Winniport Sheds. Give us a call today, 990-2525.
Howdy, I'm George Whelan with Downeast Direct Cremation, and this is our crew, the Apple Hill Stables Gang, and we are here to welcome you to the officially PRCA-sanctioned Apple Hill Stable Rodeo. There will be saddle and bareback riding. Barrel racing and bull riding. Calf roping and more. That's the Apple Hill Stables PRCA Rodeo. Y'all come on down now, you hear?
The 7th Annual Charity Rodeo, September 5th, 6th, and 7th. All proceeds go to the Shriners Hospital and Make-A-Wish of Maine. This event is sold out in past years, so get your tickets now online at applehillstablesllc.com.
Hey, Maine, think you're wicked smart? Well, put your knowledge to the test with me, Ken Jennings, on Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Welcome back. Doug Banks here. Thank you for staying with us. We start out on the links down in Atlanta, Georgia, where this year's PGA Tour season concluded in spectacular fashion. With this tap-in putt, Tommy Fleetwood took home the hardware of this year's Tour Championship. Fleetwood finished 18 under par and won by 3 strokes. This victory at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta is Fleetwood's first ever PGA Tour win. After 164 PGA Tour starts, the UK native on Sunday officially took his name off the best who have never won list. But that's not to say he's never been in contention. According to ESPN, his 30 top 5 finishes without a victory were the most on the PGA Tour in the past 100 years. To the gridiron, in an effort to see what the second and third string guys were capable of, the New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel rested a majority of their starters on Thursday in their 42-10 loss to the New York Giants. By Tuesday, the powers that be need to bring the roster down to 53 players. Vrabel announced a few roster cuts Friday morning as they have already started clearing some space. On Sunday, the Patriots announced the release of 2024 fourth-round draft pick Layden Robinson, who started 11 games at O-line for the Pats last season. Vrabel spoke with the media a few days ago and said the days leading up to Tuesday's roster deadline will be very fluid.
The next 10 days will be very fluid. As you guys all know, covering this league, there'll be players that'll come onto our roster, maybe from other teams, maybe there won't. We'll have to get down to 53 and then eventually a practice squad, and the mix of practice squad players, of veterans and young players that may develop, or ones that we could activate. So I can't tell you for sure when those will happen, but obviously that has to be done before 4 o'clock on Tuesday.
And finally here, recently our Beth Jones spoke with soccer star Abby Kramer about her time at the University of Maine and her pro career.
What's the work ethic that goes into, playing at that level?
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, obviously, as an individual, but our team at UMaine and during my time, we thrived on pushing each other each and every day and becoming the best versions of ourselves. So I think for those accolades, all credit really goes to my teammates and support staff that pushed me to be the best that I could be each and every day. So yeah.
Every athlete kind of has great days and then maybe days where you struggle a little bit with whatever. What were some of the challenges that you personally felt as an athlete that you rose above?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely didn't have a great day every day, and I know my teammates and coaches would say the same. So I think I had a lot of growth throughout my 4 years. Not only as a soccer player, but also as a person, physically and mentally as well. I worked a lot on the mental side of my game, and worked with my coaches and a mental performance coach to get the best on game day. So yeah.
That mental game really, it almost supersedes the physical a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you must have had some good days because they're retiring your jersey, and that's never happened before in program history. So how does that feel?
Yeah, it's such an honor, and I'm so thankful for anybody behind the selection process. Yeah, I know it was announced a few months ago now, but it's so surreal to think about, to be honored in that way. And again, I think it's as much as it's my jersey that's being retired, I associate that so much more with all 4 teams I was a part of in my 4 years, and each and every teammate that I worked with in those years, and it makes me very proud. So.
I think a lot of athletes dream of pursuing the sport that they love beyond the college career, and you are actually getting to do that. You said you just completed your first pro season with a team in Portugal. So how did that go?
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle the first experience, and I think it always will be. You get a bit comfortable when you're in the same spot for 4 years, and I think not that I didn't appreciate it while I was in it, but you grow a much greater appreciation when you step away and you realize how good you really had it, especially in the culture that we developed on our team. So, I learned a lot about the culture, about soccer. I got better, and looking to keep that going. So.
That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Summer is here and it's heating up. You could be cooling down with a Fujitsu heat pump from Valley Home Services. Don't let the name fool you. Heat pumps aren't just for winter. They keep your home cool and comfortable even on the hottest days. No more straining your back with heavy window units. Just reliable, energy-efficient cooling at the push of a button. So why wait? Embrace the comfort with Fujitsu heat pumps and Valley Home Services. Call or visit us online today.
It's the biggest homeowner mistakes. Do-it-yourself lumberjack? Better leave it to the pros. Unless you want natural skylights, doing your own electrical work is dangerous, and the results could be shocking. But letting just anyone replace your windows? Biggest mistake ever. Be a happy homeowner and leave this one to the best. The certified master installers at Renewal by Anderson. And for a limited time, get the best for less with this special offer.
When your vehicle needs a little help, we can point you in the right direction. You'll find Maine's largest network of good, better, and best parts and service for everything you do. It's good to know you'll find just what you need when you need it. With better quality parts to help your vehicle outperform every expectation. And the best service, expertise, and advice from the people who know parts. Whether you're at work or play, we're here for you. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
And for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christian Cordero.
Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong!
Netflix appears to have its first box office win thanks to K-pop Demon Hunters. The film, which centers on a K-pop superstar trio who double as demon hunters, topped the box office with an estimated $16 to $18 million in ticket sales, according to studio estimates. The horror film Weapons came in second with more than $15 million domestically. Disney's Freakier Friday landed in third, grossing just over $9 million. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Emotion and passion filled the air of Buenos Aires this weekend. Hundreds of couples from around the world showcased their skills at the Tango World Championship. The 2-week festival in Argentina is the largest tango gathering in the world. The dance, born in the region during the late 19th century, has become a global phenomenon. And happy birthday, Gene Simmons. The KISS bassist is 76 years old. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Christian Cordero, ABC News.
All right, now let's get a look at that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, New England's largest selection, meets unbeatable prices. Already, we have a small craft advisory up along the coast, and that will expire at around 5 o'clock p.m. as we head towards your Tuesday for the highlighted areas. Wave heights, all right, not terrible at the moment at around 4 feet, according toward the buoys, a little bit higher as you head farther down toward the south, as we do have a tropical storm that is tracking from the south and is going toward the north, pretty lopsided with the convection further down toward the south, and the eye, which is just farther up toward the north, the center of it, there it is, right about in there, and it's been given the name for Nand, a pretty interesting system there, with winds up to around 50 miles per hour and gusts up to around 65 miles per hour, moving towards the north-northeast at around 12 miles per hour. And it won't be much of a threat for us, although it may stir up the ocean, hence why the small craft advisories are in effect at this point. So it may stir up the ocean just a little bit, and once it moves out towards sea later on this week, there won't be much of an issue from there. But meanwhile, for us, we are watching some activity this morning with showers and even some thunderstorms. A couple systems we're watching, some showers and storms out towards sea, and a cold front that will be moving in soon. So that is why we are seeing some showers and thunderstorms developing this morning. Here's one wave right about in here, and another one just off toward the north and west. So we'll be active today. Calming down coming up later on tonight. So there's all the activity we're watching out for today. Things calm down later on tonight. Areas of dense fog overnight, but once once we head towards your Tuesday, things start to clear out and calm down, some clouds by Tuesday afternoon. All right, for today, mostly cloudy, a chance for showers and storms, highs in the low 70s, south wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Thunderstorms early tonight, some clouds and fog overnight as well, lows in the upper 50s, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 70s, a partly cloudy sky, west wind at around 25 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Partly cloudy for your Wednesday with highs in the mid-70s, upper 70s for your Thursday under a partly cloudy sky, some rain showers for your Friday with highs in the mid-70s.
Hi, Mom. I can't wait for you to hear well again, so I won't have to scream to tell you that I love you.
Now tell me if you can hear this.
Hi, Mom.
It's not just your hearing. For us, it's your life. That's why we created the Miracle Ear Way, offering unlimited care, including risk-free trials and free servicing to keep you connected with your loved ones at all times. Book a free test. Call 1-800-633-0088.
When life happens, you need a roofing company that's got your back. At Horch Roofing, we're not just roofers, we're your neighbors. Locally owned for over 21 years with a commitment to caring for our community. From small repairs to brand new roofs, we treat every project like it's our own home. It's not just about a roof, it's about protecting what matters most. Horch Roofing, taking care of customers, employees, our community, and the environment. Call Horch Roofing today because taking care of people is what we do best.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you.
Let Hellman's Bakery put a smile on your face with their tasty offerings of breads, baked beans, lasagna, tuche and turkey pies, fruit and cream pies, wedding and specialty cakes, pastries, and more. Hillman's, your hometown bakery, Fairfield.
Bruce Willis, that smile, that laugh, but now, gripped by a heartbreaking disease. The loving and powerful event special. Emma and Bruce Willis, The Unexpected Journey, Tuesday night on ABC.
Maine's second largest agricultural fair kicked off Saturday in Windsor. The Windsor Fair spans 50 acres, offering rides, games, food, live entertainment, demolition derbies, and fun for the whole family.
We're making our rounds. I don't think there's a ride we're going to miss tonight. As the lights come on, I think it gets more exciting as it goes on. So, we're excited for the lights.
The fair's 137th season runs until Labor Day. Looks like a lot of fun. He's so right, though. It's fun to be there for the dusk part as the lights begin to turn on. That's probably like the best part of the fair. Okay, thank you for joining us. That's all for this hour. We'll continue broadcasting on Fox 22 with a new hour of Good Morning Maine. Either way, you can always find us on foxbangor.com. I hope you have a great Monday.